Welcome back to the deep dive. If you were with us yesterday, we explored those powerful verses where Arjuna, just completely overcome, laid down his weapons right there on the battlefield.
That's right, a real moment of crisis.
And today, we're picking that thread right back up.
Yeah.
We're diving into verses 36 through 40 of chapter 1 in the Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm.
And Arjuna, well, he goes even deeper. He starts questioning, the whole point war, victory, life itself.
It's fascinating because he shifts gears, doesn't he? It moves beyond just his personal sorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Our goal today is to really unpack his arguments here, looking at kinship, sin, and these dire warnings about what happens when things fall apart.
Indeed. He builds a compelling case, rooted in ethics and social order. It's not just emotion. There's a strong, logical, though deeply felt structure to his objections now.
Okay, so let's jump in. Verse 36. He starts by directly addressing Krishna as Janardana and asks, basically, what good comes from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Killing these aggressors, he says, only brings us sin.
And straight away, he doubles down on that.
Right. He says, therefore, it's not right for us to kill our relatives. O Madhava, how can we possibly be happy after killing our own family? He hammers this point about happiness and sin being linked.
Absolutely. And notice he calls them aggressors, but still says killing them because they're kin is wrong and leads to sin. He's arguing there's a specific, heavier karmic consequence here that cancels out any potential joy from winning.
So it's not just, I don't want to do this. It's, this act itself is inherently corrupting regardless of the outcome.
Precisely. It's a profound moral stance. The act taints the result.
Okay, then it gets really interesting. In verse 37, he acknowledges the other side. He says something like, okay, maybe their minds are clouded by greed. Maybe they don't see the problem with destroying their family line or betraying friends.
Yeah, he sees their blindness. But then, crucially, in the very next verse, 1.38, he flips it. He asks, so why shouldn't we, O Janardana, we who do see the flaw, who do understand the sin involved in destroying the lineage, why shouldn't we turn away from this?
So the awareness itself creates a greater responsibility.
Exactly. That's the core of it. He's saying their ignorance is one thing, but our knowledge makes participation even worse. It's about accountability. If you know something is deeply wrong, doing it anyway carries a heavier weight.
Wow. And then he really spells out why destroying the lineage is such a disaster. Verse 39. With the destruction of the lineage, he says, the eternal family traditions vanish. And when those traditions go,
the whole family, the whole structure gets overwhelmed by adharma, unrighteousness.
So it's not just losing people you love, it's losing the entire, moral framework, the rules of society.
Spot on. He's talking about kuladharma, the specific duties and righteous traditions that hold a family and, by extension, society together. Losing that isn't just sad, it's the collapse of order itself. When dharma fails, adharma rushes in to fill the void. You can see why he's so deeply disturbed.
It's a much bigger picture than just the battle.
Much bigger. He's looking at long-term societal decay.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? Verse 40 takes it. Further, he says, O Krishna, when unrighteousness spreads, the women of the family become corrupted. And when women are corrupted, he continues, O Varshniya, this leads to Varna Sankara, which is what exactly? Mixing of social orders, unwanted progeny.
It translates roughly to the confusion or mixing of social classes or duties leading to adulterated progeny. Arjuna fears that the breakdown of dharma and the subsequent corruption will disrupt the social fabric so profoundly that it affects lineage, responsibilities, the very identity of future generations.
So it's this cascade effect he's describing. War leads to death, leads to loss of tradition, leads to unrighteousness, leads to corruption, leads ultimately to the breakdown of the entire social order.
It's a terrifying domino effect in his mind. He's deeply worried that winning the battle could mean losing the very essence of their society and its future.
Okay, so stepping back, what does this all mean? Arjuna's not just expressing grief anymore. He's laid out this incredibly detailed, reasoned argument, even if it's fueled by emotion, about the massive costs of this war.
Yes, he's looking far beyond the battlefield. He's asking about the real price of victory, not just in lives lost, but in the potential destruction of the moral and social foundations of their world. It's about the long shadow conflict casts.
It forces you to think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About those unseen consequences.
Definitely. He makes us consider the ripple effects, the damage that goes far beyond the initial violence, even when the cause seems just.
Which really leaves us with something to chew on. If even Arjuna, fighting what's meant to be a righteous war, sees this potential for such deep moral and social rot, well, what does it actually take to justify conflict? And what responsibility do we all bear for the unseen damage it can cause down the line?
A profound question, and one that echoes far beyond Arjuna's chariot.